This episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. They can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.
Hello there, and welcome to the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III. This is your host, Jesse Oakley III, and I welcome you to this wonderful podcast. Now, the purpose of the Sunday Morning Chat Series is where yours truly get to interview a plethora of positive people making big difference in the community, whether they're speakers, leaders, authors, writers, entrepreneurs, business people. You hear from them first right here on the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III. And today, we have ourselves a wonderful, wonderful episode featuring a leader within an organization called Toastmasters International. And she hails from District 11, which I believe is Indiana, parts of Kentucky. And I believe she holds a position called Club Growth Director. And it is none other than Jane Croft. Hey, Jane, how's it going?
Hello, my favorite happy people. Hi, I'm doing good this morning.
All right, and with that being said, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
All right, without further delay, let's chat. Now, the first question I have for you is, how did you get your start in Toastmasters? Take us to day one.
I had a very interesting trip. Let me say that. But to get a big understanding of how it happened, is I was born profoundly deaf. But I have learned to listen through auditory verbal therapy, which is the same therapy you give patients with cochlear implants. But I digress. That's another podcast on that. But anyway, I knew that the world was very different for me. And at age 9, I actually witnessed my father, who is a professor of education at University of Houston, Texas. And he did a speech to parents of deaf children of the 18-year strategy plan on me. Me. I mean, 9 years old. I'm like, oh, my parents have a strategy plan on me. But it turned out there was a method for that matter. My dad has a very strong, tender voice. It carries through the room. At the end of that speech that he did, I was mesmerized. I mean, my own dad, wow. And so everybody, all the parents came up to my dad after the whole thing was over. And I was trying to navigate through all these parents' legs to get to my dad. I mean, I was really small. Trying to navigate through this forest of legs. And I pulled on my dad's jacket. He come down. He said, "Well, hello, my dear." I said this, "Dad, you were so bold." Shocked. All the parents of deaf children looked at me. They never heard a deaf person, or as young as I was, use the word bold. It is not a common vocabulary. I was breaking bias as I spoke. And so even though I don't pronounce words, which I still don't, by the way, um, but, but anyway, it really reinforces the power of speaking. And ever since then, I want to be like him. But I wasn't ready. I needed to grow up to live. So when I was getting ready to the point where I have enough life experience to tell stories and testimonials, I knew of Toastmaster long ago. And so I said, yep, that's where I'm going. I'm going to Toastmaster to not only practice my speaking words, but also to refine my message and be able to pronounce words. And I still can't to this day. And also to keep my leadership my skills, not be atrophied. It's like a muscle going there. So I finally joined Toastmaster, but the first club I tried to join was never chartered because it was in a rural area with stuck at 15 members. And I was the club president then, but I did not give up. So I ended up moving to Colorado later. And I went into my company and said, "Hey, anybody want to have a Toastmaster club company?" And next thing I knew, I chartered a club on my own for my company, and here I am. And since 2020, I've been a Toastmaster.
All right, and that is the rest of the story. And I got to tell you, Jane, that was truly a fantastic journey. And bold is definitely a wonderful adjective when it comes to speaking in public. And I really appreciate that big time. Now, the next question I have for you is Club Growth Director. What is a Club Growth Director, and how are you doing your role as Growth Director for this year?
Well, just to correct you, I am a past club board director.
Oh,
But,
past Club Growth Director. That's right.
but anyway, but no harm in there. Club board director has a huge responsibility to continue to collaborate for the district, identifying target areas of organizations, a community, or geographic concept of possible Toastmaster club that can be born there. But also, we have a huge responsibility of keeping our clubs alive. That involves renewals, mentorship, and so on. And all of this is a huge effort where you really have to stay on top of everything. But you can't do it by yourself. I have a team. And those teams are my extended ears and eyes because I was doing this remotely. And my whole team was up in Indiana and Northern Kentucky. And here I am in Northern Colorado leading the team up there. But we had a strategy and we stuck with it. It turned out to be a perfect strategy at the time. And so the club growth director actually cultivates. Say, hey, you can create your club. I'll help you. Let's be our partner. We'll make it happen. And that is where the relationship is formed as well. And if any leads or where people come in and say, I want to join a club, they already took the first step by saying, I want to join a club. And if from that point on, we have a partnership. And then we still help them navigate through some decision making about the club. Yeah, I could go on forever. But the key thing is to getting the right people to pull in and help support that club to grow and keep it alive. So essentially, that is what the club growth record does.
All right, and I also want to add something else. You mentioned that you're in Northern Colorado, and the district is mostly Indiana, and you're a past Club Growth Director, and appreciate the service. Now, when it comes to remote Toastmasters, especially connecting with Toastmasters from Indiana or anywhere around the world, what are some of the things that you're doing in order to service when it comes to connecting to Toastmasters all over the world? What are some of the amazing things have you done to right to this point?
Well, one of the things I love doing is actually being available to everybody. And so if anybody has any question, it's no dumb question, if big or small, I mean, yeah, you can come to me, not a big problem. I'm a firm believer that it's not similar to a district. There should be cross district interaction as well because what works for one will not work for another, and vice versa. And there's always lessons to be learned when you hear in this testimonial. They're going, oh, that's an idea I never thought of, or something of that nature. Or there's the times that they have a problem with, and we can offer some suggestions and solution recommendations and so on. So it's very important that we have spread our service, not just within our district. It doesn't have to be 1 year. It could be forever. I mean, once you're a Toastmaster, you're a Toastmaster. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the essence of it. So that is why it's so important that you, when every skill you gain, you share and elevate others in their skills as well.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I love hearing answers like this and stories like this. Now, another question I do have for you is now I have spent within my 23 years of Toastmastering, I experienced plenty of challenges, whether it be in communication or leaderships. What were some of the challenges that you faced that you overcame within your Toastmasters journey?
Well, there is some challenges that is specifically unique to me, but there are also other challenges that are commonly district challenges. One of the common district challenges is trying to find people who are brave enough to raise their hand that I help, I serve, and I call those rising stars. They're on the fence, but they're very good at what they do. You hear good things about this person, or you see witness something, but they're on the fence. They're not. I don't know if I have the time. I don't know if I'm ready. Those are rising stars you want to pay attention to. Those are the one you say, hey, come on, that's me. You can do it. I'll be there to help you. Come on, we'll do this together. And usually that works in the end. And so it makes them realize it's not just the fear of public speaking, it's the gaining the confidence to jump over the edge. And so, I mean, right, I have gumption. I was nervous as heck when I first became area and division director, and I had to do two roles in my first years at the same time. And so I just plow myself through because you're not going to know until you get there. And so that's exactly what happened. But I knew how it worked for me. Now, my personal challenge was how to create, cut through this bias of hiring a person who's deaf, doesn't use the phone, remote. How can they leave the district? And my answer is watch me, because I know what strategy works good for me, and I can read the room in organizational behavior, how people respond to data, how they respond to people who's remote. I can read the organizational behavior, and that's very important for me as a person because I know how to navigate through it. I will not do it the same way as everybody else, but I still get to the same spot. So, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. So that's the kind of challenges I have. Yeah.
And I tell you what, you have definitely shown the heart. And I could tell you right now that with the challenge that you overcome, it basically made you not only a Toastmasters strong person, it makes you a Toastmasters warrior. And you know that if you overcome stuff like that, you are truly a warrior when it comes to being that strong individual. So I really appreciate that, Jane.
I've always considered myself as a trailblazer.
Ah,
That's how I see it because there are so many deaf people out there not like me at all. And so they're afraid to lose their anonymity because of the discrimination, the stigma, and all the other stuff that come into play. We are judged by how we speak. And
that
so and that can be a problem. And so I'm willing to lose my anonymity for those deaf people who don't want to reveal themselves. They rather stay under low key behind the scenes every day. But we got deaf business owners, we got deaf leaders, we got deaf professors, doctors, scientists, pilots. I mean, we have all these people. They're leaders already, but they rather stay low key because they know the stigma is against them. So the only way we can break it through is say hi. Now you've seen a deaf person who went to high school, who graduated from college, never went to a deaf school, never learned the sign language, and I have 35 plus years in healthcare IT career, and I'm a Toastmaster.
Ooh, I tell you, happy people. When I bring guests like this, you're not disappointed because this is what it's all about, making big difference in the community. And Jane is a shining example on how it's done, and I truly appreciate that. And Jane, let's go right into the next question. This next question, we talked about the challenges. Let's go to the best. What were some of the best experiences that you had in your Toastmasters journey?
Well, the most best memory or best experience I had was actually overcoming my district challenges and trying to become a distinguished district. We have the curse of missing the mark by one club for many years. Can't seem to get there. It was like a curse and everything. But I realized part of the problem was we didn't have the right people at the right time. That's one. The second problem was we need to stay focused on that strategy and not give up too soon.
Right.
I told everybody in my district, I'm not stopping my club growth director until 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time on June 30th. And that's precisely what I did. I was one club short, but in June, I was just one club short. We had another club that needs one more member. That was easily taken care of. But that one club left to go. But my district was in desperate need of a advanced club, and they hadn't had one since COVID. And I said, you know what? It's time. The district deserves an advanced club. So I called all the people who can move the needle, who knows how to network out. And I said, in 2.5 weeks before June 30th, I said, what can we do to charter one more club? And they say, okay, I got somebody. And these people called their people, and their people called other people. We got 20 people, and we were able to charter that evening on June 30th. So that was a very proud moment because it was not all my name. It made the whole district made me an effort. But all I had to do is raise the flag and say, we are this close. Let's not stop. I'm not giving up. Are you giving up? Nope, I'm not giving up. You're not giving up. Let's do it. And that's exactly what happened. So that was a very wonderful experience. And then, of course, we didn't know if we were distinguished until 2 weeks later. We were waiting there and we're like, oh my gosh, is it? I got an email message from Toastmasters International congratulating me. Now, I'm in my home office. Nobody is around me. I screamed bloody murder when I got the email saying, congratulations, you're distinguished. I was like, I'm shouting to nobody. It's But that was a memorable experience. Of course, I ended up calling somebody who was very involved in that last journey. They said, come on, please talk to me in Zoom. I got news to share. But between me and you on the wall, we got distinguished. So I couldn't say it by myself. I had to tell somebody. But anyway, that was just a very interesting moment in July.
I bet it was, Jane. And my favorite catchphrase, especially when the Toastmasters community in Las Vegas and California, I always say, "It ain't June 30th yet," because it ain't June 30th, and nothing is over until you hear the final bells. Because you never know, that club that you talked about, it can still happen, and I can distinguish the moment that can still happen. That moment that can still happen, because you have to have that mindset of it ain't June 30th yet. And if we have that mindset, then anything is still possible and anything can still happen.
Yes, and not only that, people forget that even if you're a program quality director or somebody else, you may have different work tasks and do. But the club director takes two of the three pillars to make it distinguished. So that's a lot of that's a lot of load on me on my end. But it's very important to understand no matter what role you're in, even if you finish all of your required tasks and everything, you still cannot stop until June 30th. Because what happened, I find in many situations, they think, oh, I'm done. I'm going to relax for the next few months. No, 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 no. You come back to the district field and say, what can I do to help you? No. So that way we make sure that we have many decks on hand to actually complete everything we need to do. So it's very uh, the role is not just siloed. Your role is for the district, and,
Yes.
and then which ripples off to region and to national and so on. So people need to remind themselves your work may be done, but it's not really done until June 30th. You're right.
You better believe it, definitely. Now, another question I have for you is: you are a woman with heart. You are a woman who is a strong and fantastic lady and a Toastmasters warrior. And there's going to be a new Toastmaster out there who's been in the organization not for that long. They look at you and they say, Jane, You are my inspiration. I see you in action. You are someone that I aspire to be. I want to be in your shoes, and I hope to be in your shoes one day. If you could give any advice to that person who wants to be in your shoes, what advice would you give that person?
My advice to them is just do it. No, I mean, the fear is going to hold you back, yes. But guess what? I'm terrified every time I do a speech. And I've been doing speeches since age 9, and I'm still terrified. But the key thing is once you get on the stage or of speaking, you become very comfortable. It's like a warm house of community who are great supporters, rooting for you, watching you witness your success to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. I always tell new Toastmasters there is no one correct path.
Yes.
It can be any path. I mean, you don't have to spend overthink yourself to say, well, I'm not sure which path I want to be on. It doesn't matter. The key thing is choose any path, your first path. Now, when you get to your second path, that's when you start thinking, well, maybe I like this one. Maybe I want to try that one. But the key thing is you need the experience. So if you feel like you can't come up to the stage for some reason, have a buddy system with your club to help you navigate you and give you some tips on how to resolve that nerve. I always tell people how to do that all the time because I do it on my own all the time. So it's important that you have a buddy system and that the person feels like, wow, I'm not going to be your solo. I got a whole team on my back to root for me. And if I fumble forward. If I recede, I see high. So I always tell people you need to first lead yourself. FLY, fly. And so just do it.
It
Just go
just
ahead and do it and fly.
just do it. You hit the nail right there on the head. Whew. Now, there's some people out there that want to know more about Toastmasters. How could they know more about Toastmasters? Where could they actually go?
One thing I noticed with Toastmaster when they think, oh, wait a minute, that's not what I thought what this is and everything. I always tell them this is a nonprofit education leadership development organization. It's not an education school, it's an organization. And it's on the premises where each one evaluate each other and provide lots of feedback, of course. But it also gives you a project, which is all speeches, so you can throw in different ways to manage your mastery in different scenarios. And that is the beauty of the path. Path is designed to say, okay, you may go on this path, but let's throw this scenario, throw this in there, and that becomes your speech. And when you speak too many times, you become a natural because it's like, oh, I've done so many speeches already. I mean, what's the big deal? But that I have to tell them it's an organization, and a lot of people think, well, it's just teaching. You're going to a class, and like, no, it's a self-paced organization that it has a community behind you to guide you and to witness your elevation up to success.
All right. And for more information, go to toastmasters.org, click find a club, and there might be a club near you. Again, toastmasters.org. Since it is an organization, check out that website, find a club, and who knows, you may meet amazing people like Jane Croft. That is truly fantastic. Now, this portion, we're headed to a section of the interview, which is called the shout out portion. If you can give a shout out for the people that made it possible for your Toastmaster journey, who would you like to give a shout out to?
I will shout out to the entire district of District 11 in the 24-25 program year. Okay, I mean, the entire district. Every single member counts. Every single speech path counts. Every one of them counts. All the renewals count. All of this happens. And when you everybody gel and do what they want to do, we will succeed. And we have turned the page. I cannot tell you how many times from the previous year they were just like one clip short, like I mentioned before. It was but it takes the whole district effort. So my chapter is the entire district level. So yay, we're distinguished for the
All right.
first time in 10 years.
All right, fantastic. District 11, you congratulations big time on that, achieving that goal. And it goes to show you that it's not a me leadership, it's a we leadership. And District 11, you embody that quite well. And I have one final question for you, Jane. Let's say that I was asked this of people of my guests on this podcast, and it's just wise words of wisdom for my crew that are watching this episode. They're called the happy people. And each episode that I do, the happy people are always inspired and motivated by the wise words of wisdom that I have for my guests. So if you can offer one more wise words of wisdom to my fans and my crew, the happy people, what would it be?
Be kind to another, elevate others. Lead yourself first, fly, so that you can elevate others. And when you do that, it becomes very contagious when you do that. So but it all starts with you.
All right, Jane, that is a perfect bookend to a wonderful episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III. On behalf of all the happy people that are watching all over the world, I thank you, Jane, for taking the time out to be here on the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III. Thanks, Jane. All right, and this concludes this episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series. For more information, go to prconnectionsradio.com, and you can also go to YouTube, type in PR Connections, subscribe, and check out other podcasts, including my own podcast on PR Connections. But wait, there's more. You can actually go on to YouTube and type up Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III, and there's the YouTube page right there. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and you'll get to see all the past episodes that I've done from 2020, 2021, 2024, and this year in 2025. And stay tuned for the next episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series, which will take place this coming Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. On behalf of Jane, I would say until next time, you take care of yourselves and have a good day. Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Envision U. Envision U has discovered how to impact spirit, body, and soul with spray technology in just 30 seconds. With Envision U, you can achieve optimal health and start living the life you have always dreamed of. Use the promo code EnvisionU.com/VernDix to take control of your health naturally. PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.